Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the GrindWorks BMX Podcast. This is episode 19, and it's with a Pittsburgh local, Mitch McCracken. He runs a small custom machine shop, MHS Manufacturing. He will get into as we get into the discussion here. Does some BMX sprockets, other little stuff like that. But before I get into the podcast itself, there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about with Grindworks and just the scene in general. So I have a short list here, and it's not all encompassing, I'm sure. It's just what I could think of off the top of my head. Uh, July 5th is a small jam session at the Wooster Skate Park. Probably hit up Brant Moore if you care to know anything about that one. If you want to show up, go out there. July 6th, there's a skate jam at the HCS skate park in Vestal, New York. They have right on the flyer BMX welcome, so if you want to go out and get a session in there, feel free. Our street jam in Pittsburgh here is July 13th, so I'll throw up a jam flyer for that. I don't think I have flyers for everything I'm talking about here, so anyway. Also, July 13th is the Nowhere BMX Cornhucket Jam out in Nebraska. So, if you're somewhere in the Midwest and you're not thinking you're going to be able to make it to our jam, you should definitely head out to theirs. And otherwise, hopefully we'll see you at the Grindworks Pittsburgh Street Jam on July 13th. July 20th. I heard rumor. I don't know if I've seen any flyers on this, so I don't know if this is formal yet or if it's moved. Skate 14 out in Altoona is looking to do a small jam of some sort. Also, Matt P is doing Street Lando down in Orlando, so that's July 20th as well. And then I believe this is the 9th Street DIY out in Ohio, but they're doing a jam July 20th as well. July 27th is our Grindworks BMX Binghamton Jam. That is at HCS Skate Park. Definitely don't want to miss that one. It's always a good time. Derek does a bunch of rad stuff to help out and make sure it's awesome. August 10th, there's Peach Plaza Summer Jam. Not really sure too many details on that yet. It came out pretty early, and it's just been being sat on. So I don't know what's going on there. But Peach Plaza out in Greensburg. Apple Creek Trails Jam is August 10th, and Ravenna Flatland Jam is August 10th. So those are just what I know of right now. It covers a pretty good amount of time from now until then, so if anyone has other stuff they want me to cover in an intro here, that would be awesome. Additionally, we have a whole bunch of new stickers that we ordered for the Grindworks Jams. We've thrown them up on our web store, so that's www.grindworksbmx.com. If you want to check out some stickers, our pegs, anything like that. I don't think we've got any t-shirts in there, but that should be changing soon. We also are stocking stickers for our friends such as BMX as Fuck, and we have these new ones for at Face Tyler. And if you don't know what Face Tyler is, it's a pretty hilarious Instagram account, and you should probably go check it out. It involves our friend Tyler Kramer, except he's not involved, and it's just his face everywhere. It's quite enjoyable. So we got those in the store. We've got our new stickers in the store. We've got the BMX as Fuck stickers in the store. We've got I don't even know what else at the moment. We're just trying to expand, keep everyone happy, see what you can pick up. All right, so getting back on track here. I will not hold you up anymore. This is GrindWorks BMX Podcast, episode 19, with Mitch McCracken. Alright, we're actually recording. Cool. Just always gotta double check that. Triple check it.
I don't want to get too far in before you find out.
I'll still, about 10-15 minutes, look over my shoulder, you're still recording, right?
It's like a double check.
Yeah. That's, I'm, glad that, to some degree, glad that it's not right here. Or I'd be like...
Too much of an opportunity to keep looking.
I should just, mini micro screen right here, just so I can monitor.
Yeah, like a little Raspberry Pi screen or something like.
No, it'd be annoying. I'd have to look at it.
Yeah, it'd be too distracting. It's like having your phone out. You should probably flip this over.
But even the mobile one that I have, the audio recorder.
Yeah.
It's just counting the time on it. And I'm just the whole time, just watching the time tick by, and then I'm like, wow, we've been talking this long, we've been talking that long.
Do you try to hit a target, when you do
I can't
these?
see it.
You just don't know,
You just kind of wing it and go. Sometimes we'll hit a point and we're like, alright, let's wrap, and then a new topic comes up, and I guess we're not wrapping. Anyway, what's up, guys? Andy, you all know that, or you don't. You'll figure it out. This is Mitch. I should know your last name. I swear you've told me before.
McCracken.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mitch McCracken. So, friend of Andy's. I think we met, maybe at Boyce, probably 4 years ago.
Yeah, I've only lived here 5, so...
Yeah. I feel like you moved here, I met you, and then... Yeah, I feel like it was right around the time I was like, oh, I just moved here. And you're like, oh, me too.
Yeah, because you came, Williamsport?
Yeah. North Central PA, I guess.
Super fun, weird, all pool coping bowl skate park.
Yeah, that I kind of hated that skate park when it was there. I was real angry. This is what I have as a skate park. But now I kind of I want to go back and ride it. But every time I'm there, it's not fun. It's either winter or there's something else, some activity going on, and I don't actually have my bike.
There's any other thing to do than ride that park.
Yeah, there was this one guy that would jump through this one hip out of the pool coping so high. I had no idea how he could do it. You would just hear his tires pound the coping going, it was nose bonking off it. It was just not for me.
I've only been there once, actually.
Oh, really?
But I stopped on my way back with Tyler one day. I think he might have had the worst session in the world and hated that place. And I was like, I really like it. I don't like pool coping.
Yeah.
But I really liked that park.
It's definitely something that you don't roll up to and you're like, I've definitely rode something like this before. Because it's not.
No.
Maybe Danville. I heard Danville's the same. I've never been there, but...
No, I think Danville's way more normal.
Is it? I hear people say that park's really fun, and then other people
it's
just
tiny
really
and weird,
complain
but
about it.
I haven't ridden it.
Me neither.
So that said, I haven't ridden it, but I have friends that have been there, and it was fun, from what I heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, that pool coping place in Williamsport is so fun.
Yeah, I think I just I didn't really ride a lot whenever I lived there. I kind of went from college to moving there for a job to kind of riding, but not really having anyone to ride with, and then getting into other things, and then but they used to have a park at Bloomsburg that was really cool.
Okay.
If you ever heard of that one, but it's had a maybe it was a coping spine, a 5 foot.
Okay.
It was pretty cool, and it was one of those ratty parks that was made out of wood, and there was kind of holes, and people had been patching them for a while. But
spray paint all over, so just as indicators of don't jump here.
Yeah, there was definitely there was areas that you don't jump out on the deck, or you didn't, and then there was a flood that happened, and then they condemned it.
Yeah.
Now I think they built another one, but I heard it's not the same as what it used to be.
Yeah, there was a park it was Owego, New York, but right out, a little ways from Binghamton. And they had a flood back in 2006, and it wiped out the park as it stood. And then, like, you know, a handful of years went by, and like 2010-ish, I think, some kids got all the permits and everything, and like they bought the wood and they rebuilt the park way better than it was, with one exception. They like overthought it and then like didn't correct the mistake, but they brought everything to flat. But then they still had the ramp frame.
Oh.
And it came down and it was like having a curb cut at the bottom of every quarter and box jump and spine. It was really bad, but it was kind of fun. And then it flooded in 2011 and wiped it all out again. And it's been like kind of concrete DIY stuff ever since then.
Okay.
But not good. Just like, hey, I had concrete and I dropped it here. Hope you like the position. It is what it is, though. It's almost better than nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes. Maybe if they build stuff, more people come, build more things. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like you have to have someone that has a vision and a plan.
Not just like someone who has 5 bags.
Not just like,
Quikrete,
I have Quikrete and I would like a grind box. I'm going to put it here. I'm like, well, okay, but alright, fine, whatever. It's there now.
Yeah.
And there's like some prefab metal ramps there, but they're all haggard and falling apart.
Yeah, it tends to happen over time.
Kids took the braces out of them, so that the one's like super spongy. It's, I don't know, it's weird. That's all I gotta say. It's not the worst park up that way, though.
Yeah.
That honor goes to Corning, New York.
See, I have a friend that lives up there, but I never went to any skate parks there. Is it a prefab park, or?
Corning?
Yeah.
No. It's concrete.
Oh.
There's 2 quarter pipes with a pyramid between them and 2 grind ledges.
Like but on the pyramid or just
off? No, just off.
Okay.
Off on the side. And like not symmetric, so you don't have like a lot of good run up for a right and a left side ledge. You have a lot of good run up for 2 left side ledges. Or you can grind the outside of it and have like a foot between you and the grass.
Okay. I think I picture what you're saying.
It's weird. They're just like this on opposite sides of the park.
Yeah.
But the pyramid is steep with no tranny at the bottom at all.
Like wedge.
Like real steep, and maybe like a 2 foot by 2 foot deck on it. And then the quarter pipes are bank ramps.
Like this?
Like this. With this much deck. And then it just drops off the back.
I don't know. That seems like very much.
It's
like
so bad
safe.
that it's cool. Because you can overpegs them.
Yeah, I guess it would be cool.
And there's no tranny at the bottom. But like on paper, if you like saw the plans, apparently they're supposed to be quarter pipes.
I feel like I've seen pictures on the internet of like really terrible skate parks where it's just like a rail in the grass and then like a box jump that's like this wide, but it's like 2 feet long.
Yeah.
In the grass also. Brett falls in that category.
I kind of like some of those though. I wouldn't mind going to those bad parks and just filming clips.
Yeah, there's one. The one that I really like around here is, it's in, I guess it's maybe Murraysville, maybe Monroeville. It's a prefab park, and it's like in a what maybe was a tennis court. Like it's on asphalt, and it's like you drive down, like get off 22, and it's like
the windier. Yeah, you're talking about the like Monroeville one. It's next to a soccer field.
Yeah.
Little Woodward.
Yeah.
It's uphill both ways.
Yeah. And like there's like all the ramps have sunk down in the asphalt, and it's like really hard to ride.
It's uphill both ways because it's like they're on the peak, so you drop in on the quarter.
Yeah.
That's mellow because it's kind of tipped back because the asphalt runs away.
and then you hit the box jumper spine, and you land going downhill at a tip back quarter pipe. It's awesome.
It's pretty cool. I think I was just like looking on the internet and I was like, oh, what? There's a skate park here. How did I know about this? And it turns out
you're like, oh yeah, that's why.
But it's cool. It's like in this like little valley. Like you're just kind of like secluded.
We go there sometimes when Boyce is super packed.
Oh really?
So
They're
there's
pretty
like
close.
20 skateboarders at Boyce and a bunch of bike riders. We're like, let's just cut and at least we'll get a session in. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've had fun sessions there, but it's not like I go there for a good session. There were some cool little DIY ledges around the outside for a while.
I think there still is.
I think one got exploded.
Oh, really? I haven't been there. Probably last year. I think I went there at some point.
Okay, well, I mean, someone could have also rebuilt it, because I haven't been there in probably 2 years. Maybe early last year. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, you went to Williamsport for college then?
No, I went to...
Or did you live in Williamsport?
I went to Penn State for a couple of years.
Okay.
Like I commuted for 2, and then I went to the main campus for 2. So, yeah. And then I got a job after college in Williamsport.
Okay.
There.
Where did you live before that? Where did you grow up or whatever?
Punxsutawney.
Okay. So you're closer this way.
Yeah, it's like Western PA. So, yeah, I grew up there for a bit. Went to high school. Then still stayed there after high school. And State College in Williamsport.
Cool.
Then Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Plans to go elsewhere or just hanging out in Pittsburgh?
I'm hanging out for now. I don't really know what's next. I mean, I think it would be cool to live somewhere else, like out west or something, but then it's far away from family, and then you're kind of out there on my own and stuff. But I don't know, maybe. You.
Oh, is it? I was thinking it was you.
I thought it was too.
It is me. I don't know who it is though, so
Sit close to your number.
it's 724.
Yeah.
It's no. It's my work phone.
Oh.
So it could feasibly actually be something worth looking into, but it's also nearly 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And they probably just want to tell me my car's warranty is about to expire or something.
Oh, and then you need to buy in, or they have a great rate on your home loans.
Yeah.
Or something else that you probably don't actually
My
have.
credit's compromised.
Yeah. That's what happens now. That's what phone calls are.
Yep. And they're like, I don't even want my voicemail set up because I don't want those.
Yeah. I don't even answer phone calls anymore. I mean, when it's a remotely close number. Because, I have a cell phone number that's from Johnstown. I don't know anyone from there. I'm just this is definitely not anyone I know.
I get a lot from Binghamton on my personal phone still.
Yeah.
And they're bogus, but they're like, oh, do you want to participate in this? I'm like, I don't even live there. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, just because I have that number doesn't mean that I'm in town or relevant. Because I'll get voting calls and stuff. It's I mean, I can't vote in your election.
Yeah.
Take me off your list. I haven't lived there in 5 years. But
The robocalls.
yeah, the robo ones, or even the ones that aren't. You're like, why are you calling me? You're a fake person doing fake stuff. Leave me alone.
Because eventually they'll get someone else to buy into it.
Yeah.
I got one that was we have great rates on your mortgage or something. They're like, what's your mortgage? And I was like, oh, I don't have a mortgage. And they're like, oh, okay. We can get you great rates on, what was it next? I don't know if it was these solar panels or something. I was like, yeah, I got those too. And they're like, we can also get you great rates on a home security system. I was like, yeah, I have that. I'm like, that's not true. None of that is true. And they're just like, that's crazy. You're offering me all these things that I already have. Too bad I didn't talked to you
Yeah.
before. And then I just kept calling them back. And they would give me a different number and be like, who is this? Oh, so-and-so from like Great Rates. And then I was like, oh, before you told me it was Best Mortgage. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's Best Mortgage. I'm like, you actually didn't tell me that. I just made that up. But
You're like, yeah, you need to tighten up.
yeah, things to do while stuck in traffic. But
That and call all the religious signs that have been popping up everywhere.
no, I haven't noticed those.
Man, they're like all over now, down the turnpike.
Mm,
If you drive that.
I used to, but not anymore.
That was, man, whenever we drive to Chicago, that's like the go-to, because it's just all turnpike the whole way. Tyler likes to call them. They're fun, though.
Yeah.
They'll talk to you. They don't even care that you're just pranking them, because they're going to talk to you anyway, just to try to convince you that what they're telling you is real.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, you're really like reaching, because you know this is a joke and you still don't care.
Yeah. Nothing about this seems like I actually care, but you're going along with it.
Yeah. So you and I want to talk for a while now, since we pretty much started this.
Yeah, I remember you hit me up. It was definitely before the new year. It was close to the new year.
That's when I started it, like, Thanksgiving time, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been, like, actually quite a while. Like, 6 months. 6 months of podcasts.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's a lot.
But anyway, you've got your own side project going on, or I don't know to what degree it's a side project.
Yeah, I don't
Or
know.
not.
Yeah. I think when I was living in Williamsport, like, the place that I was working had, like a Haas VF2 something YY. I don't know what the hell it was. It was a bunch of add-ons. And I never run one, and then somehow like convinced my boss that it was okay for me to learn how to do that, which probably, like, I don't think he understood how it was run, because there's only like 2 or 3 people at the company like that worked in our tooling department that did it. And yeah, he was like, okay, well, whatever. And then like, oh, you guys gotta show me how to use this. And they were like, whoa, hold on. And then they, like, luckily they were cool dudes, and like they showed me how to use it. Like, still friends with them now, but then I was like, oh, this is pretty sweet. And then like ever since then, I just like wanted to get a milling machine, and then just to like make stuff. It was more just like to fill my time, like tinker around. But
Yeah.
But then like, yeah, I made a sprocket there, like my first one, and I was going to do like the second operation. Like I had this, like my friend helping me with it, and we like screwed it up. It was bad. Like I think I didn't set like the work origin again. It was bad. So he's like, oh no, there's plenty of aluminum in the back. Well, I got like aluminum, and it was not aluminum that you should be making sprockets out of. It was like Mike 6, like tool plate, like cast aluminum. And I made it. I was like, oh sweet. I like went to Philly like a week later, and I hadn't wrote it. I put it on. And I was like, yeah, I'm so pumped on this. And I like walked out of my friend's apartment and took one pedal and just like sheared through the whole sprocket. And was like, whoa, this isn't good. But yeah, after that, I was like, that was like my goal. I had to get a milling machine so I can make stuff. But yeah.
So now you're making sprockets.
Yeah, now I'm making sprockets. I saved up money for like a while and sold a motorcycle, and yeah, bought a milling machine, put it in my basement. So it's cool. Made some sprockets, some stems.
Is it just like a Bridgeport style?
No, it's like it's called a Tormach is the brand. So it's like a hobbyist machine, but
Okay. Is it like desktop style then?
yeah, it's probably like maybe like 4 feet by, it's probably like a 4 foot square by 60, 70 inches tall.
Okay.
So I don't have a lot of travel or anything, and it's like not something that you set multiple vices up on or anything like that. But
No, but it's bigger than like a desktop guy.
yeah, it's definitely bigger than a desktop guy. It's pretty rigid, like it holds good tolerances from everything that I've measured. So I don't know, I've been pretty pumped on it. So yeah. So I got that, and then I started making sprockets, and then I was like, Andy, think you run 25 tooth. You should check this out and see.
Yeah, I've been running one. I've been fairly reluctant to smash it off of things, not because I don't think it'll take it, but because I didn't have any spare chains. And I'm like,
oh yeah,
that's gonna like deter me for a little bit.
Did you run a guard sprocket before that?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I haven't got into that yet. Making a guard sprocket, but maybe
soon.
Andy special.
I'll show you the way that one is. Might be a good way to handle it.
Yeah.
Because that's just another sprocket bolted on without teeth.
Oh. Cool.
So,
yeah, so started doing that stuff, but I think around the time that you hit me up, I was like trying to do side work for another guy that I used to work with, and it's like he needed it all done by like the middle of December, and I was kind of like running around all frantically because I'd never done that before, and I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be super simple, and then like most things, it's not super simple. I was like, oh Jesus.
No. You can get hosed quick running a hobby shop or machine shop of any sort, and I feel like for every 6 jobs that you make money on, you probably have one that just ate every bit that you made on the others.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, and I like felt bad. I was like, I kind of feel like I need to charge you this much, and he's like, whatever. It just like gets billed all the way up to the company I'm doing this for. So. But just try to keep it like significantly cheaper than it would be if you went to like an actual shop. But it was cool. I mean, it's definitely fun. Get to play around with things, make stuff.
What are you making right now? Because obviously sprockets. We already talked about that.
Yeah, I made some sprockets.
What sizes can you do?
The biggest, the one dude wanted like a 33 tooth, so I did that. I think that was about maxing out my travel. I don't think I could do a 36. Successfully do a 36, I'll say. I could probably do it in like 2 operations, but that's really sketchy, and that's something. I don't really want to get into that.
I feel like you could probably get away with it, but
yeah, I'm not willing to do that. I would maybe try it and see if it worked, but I don't think it would be a long-term thing. But
no,
yeah.
I think at that point it's like, do you really need a 36? At this point, I mean, 33. What was he running it with?
I don't know. Probably like 10, 9.
I mean, 9 would be impossible.
Probably like 33, 10. I don't know.
That had to have been rough. Unless it was on a cruiser.
No, it was on a BMX bike.
Okay, yeah, that would have been... I mean, normal would be 12.
Yeah, it was big. It was something that he was like, oh, you think you do 33? I'm like, I don't know, man. And then I just kind of like whipped the drawing up real quick and did it. And then afterward, I was like, hopefully this holds up. Like, I didn't do any, like, crunch any numbers on it to see if it would hold up. And I don't know. It seems to be going good, though. So I just made a bunch, and, you know, I didn't know where it would go from there. It was like an excuse for me to get it. Like, oh, yeah, maybe I could do some work on the side or something. But, like, really, it was just like, it doesn't matter.
Like, I just want it. There's no excuse. I just want it.
Yeah. But, yeah, I gave them out to a bunch of people when I don't know, I guess, like, my friend Bob broke his, so, but he had, like, this real sketchy setup on his, like, cranks where his, like, sprocket bolt stripped out, so instead of, like, re-welding it and, like, tapping it, they just tapped it with a much bigger bolt. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I just took one that I had and then just bored it out more, so there was, like, not a lot of material there, but, yeah, he ate it pretty bad at the wheel mill and broke it, but...
I was going to say, I haven't had a real good opportunity to pedal with it because I've had major drivetrain issues from the hub side. And I just built up new wheels, so I was trying really hard to not, like, blow up whose hub I was running. And I made a comment a while ago that it's, like, the worst hub that I've ever ran on the podcast. Yeah. And I did not say the company name. But I did just post a video of me taking it apart, and I posted the new clip, so...
Yeah, people might be sad.
Or new pictures of the new build, but... I mean, whatever. If you find out whose it is, that's fine, but I'm not trying to blow it up.
Yeah, things break. I don't know. I feel like there was a time, like...
It had a dead spot when I bought it, and it just got worse.
Yeah. I feel like there was a time when probably back when I was in college, where people would just, like, post pictures of all the parts that they broke and be like, this is terrible. And they would, like, you know, oh, I broke this frame. I'm like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I jumped on this 10 stair and I was running tires with 120 psi. I'm like, dude, come on. Like, really?
And it's 4 years old. I can't believe how terrible it is.
I've been jumping down 10 stairs for a long time. Like, that happens. But...
No, he broke it jumping off of a curb. The stupid frame that he took down 10 stairs for 4 years. Like, well, yeah, but did you notice it was cracked?
Yeah.
And it's been cracked for a long time, and you just kept jumping down stuff. No? Okay.
Yeah.
So I used to post pictures of that, too. I still do. I like posting broken part pictures.
Yeah.
But it's not from the standpoint of, like, oh, this part's terrible. I kind of wait till I either get the warranty part back.
Yeah.
And, like, oh, sick customer service from company bleh.
Yeah. Yeah, most companies are cool. Like, if you, like, deal with them in a very reasonable manner. Like, I had a profile hub that, like, I think just over time, like, where the press fit bearing was in the hub, is a rear hub, the bearing just, like, it wasn't press fit anymore. Something had just worked.
That happens in every one of their hubs.
Does it? And this was, like, secondhand. Like, I had it for probably, like,
it's
6
like
years.
It's like a death wobble in a lot of their hubs.
So, I mean, it had been, like, out there for a while. Like, I got it from someone who rides much harder than I do, and then had it for a long time. But anyway, like, I called him and I was like, can I just buy a hub shell off you? Like, I don't care what color, I'll just, like, rattle can it. And they were like, no, crash replacement, like $45. Like, sent it in, I got to pick what color it was. Whoa.
Yeah. No, it's cool when you get, like, good customer service. It doesn't matter what the company is. But, I mean, you got your instance you're talking about of kids breaking stuff and just, like, talking about how bad that company is. I feel like there's the flip side to that, and I know I've talked about it before, is companies just doing a bad job marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And I use the example of, like, Eastern versus Cult. Like, as if their completes aren't nearly identical and or made in the same factory and the same bike.
Yeah.
But Cult has a team that kills it, and they've got the marketing and the hype, and they're like, heck yeah, Cult bikes. And then you've got Eastern that, like, there's just, where's their presence? The only person they had for a while was Adam Banton.
Does he still ride for them?
No, he left. I know they have, like, Kenneth Tencio and some other guys, but, like, is that a name that you're used to hearing, or is that a name the kids are stoked on? I don't know.
Yeah, I can honestly say I don't really follow it that much, but yeah.
If you're not hyped on it and you do a bad job marketing it, like, it's easy to get the bad rap of not being a good company.
Yeah.
But I feel like it all comes down to the marketing side and, like, how you handle those kids that are talking crap.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it just comes down to, at some point, like, people just start, like, buying stuff from brands that they think, like, are cool, or they just want to support, like, not necessarily because they think it's, like, so much better than something else, but I don't know.
I think it's also not kids as much.
Yeah, it's probably people like our age that do that. So not kids. Yeah.
I mean, that's what they talk about it on, like, Mike Hinken's podcast and a handful of others a lot. That, like, the median age of bike riders, the people you're trying to appeal to, is not 12-year-olds anymore. No one's quit.
Yeah.
So it's like the age just keeps moving up. And if you're trying to market to 12-year-olds, but the people that are primarily out there buying and spending their own money on BMX are like 20 to 30, you got a huge disconnect, and no one's stoked on anything you're doing. But I guess that comes back to, like, you're doing your thing with your sprockets. I know you've done some stems in the past, too.
Yeah, I did a couple stems. I think there might be like 2 of them out there. Yeah, did some top load stems, but yeah, it seemed to be cool. I enjoy it.
So that, and then like GrindWorks, and then a whole bunch of other companies just doing the DIY thing, though.
Yeah.
Whether you're making it truly yourself, or you just like tired of what all the other companies are doing. You're like, I can do this myself. New one I see around is 7 Bike Co. Just like the Blairsville dudes.
Oh, okay.
They're doing sprockets and pegs and cool. I don't know what else. Those are the only 2 things I've seen for sure.
Sweet.
But yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
Getting out there, doing something. A bunch of clothing stuff like Keystone.
Yeah, I've seen them around and stuff.
So I think just, that's kind of the sign of when your marketing is not appealing to the people that are primarily buying product, you kind of force them to do their own thing.
Yeah.
Plus, we just like to do our own stuff anyway.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. Like, not having rules, just kind of doing your own thing. It doesn't matter. But
have you messed with anything else other than the sprockets and
that's
stems?
it. That's all I made. I was like, I have a couple of designs for like some brakes, but I don't know if I would really want to get into that. I mean, I might at some point, but it's getting summer now, so I'm trying to be outside more. But like it's easier. I feel like to work on that stuff in the winter because I'm kind of like hold up. I don't really want to go outside. But
yeah, I mean, you catch an hour or 2 at the wheel mill, and then you just go home because, like, if you stay there all night long, you burn yourself out on it.
Yeah, I usually go there quite a bit. Like, really thankful that place is around because I don't know what I'd do with myself. But
I don't know.
Yeah, but I did pick up a lathe a while ago, like a manual lathe. So
sweet.
A little more. Makes it easier to do things now. So, yeah, I don't know what I'll do with that. But I did want to make brakes at one point in time. Like, I just thought that would be a cool project to just, like, design from the ground up.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of parts, like press fit bushings. Maybe make my own springs for
pedals?
See, I feel like I should, but I don't think I would ever run metal pedals. So, like, if someone wants them, or, like... If someone's like, I really want metal pedals, but most of the people that I ride with, like on the reg, they run plastic pedals. But yeah, if someone wants metal pedals or something, put that on the list. But we're about the spindles and stuff with it like that. Probably have to get it heat treated and stuff.
Yeah, you might actually just be able to like use kind of off the shelf stuff for the spindle bearing kit and just.
And then just
make the bodies.
Thought about that too.
That's probably the easiest way.
Yeah, that gets a little hectic trying to do like 2 pieces and get it heat treated and all that stuff. Like,
you have to make your own oven.
I do not have space for my own heat treating oven. My power consumption. I feel like the cops would show up, think I was cooking meth or something.
You're like, no, just heat treating steel.
No, I just made this sweet oven for cooking metal. But yeah, that's it. So maybe brakes. I thought about brake lever.
That could be cool, but I feel like it's the same thing where it'd be rough.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of setup. I think a brake lever would be better because it's like smaller. So, a couple parts, I could make like a whole fixture or something. But yeah. But we'll see.
I'm trying to think now. Like what?
I thought bar ends, but
bar ends are a cool one. I would like to do those too.
Yeah.
And I've wanted to, and then I don't have a way of doing it myself, so I have to sub it out to someone, and
no guy.
It turns into at least two parts, usually 3.
Yeah, usually 3.
And hardware. And then you're like, I mean, how do I turn around and sell this at $15 to $20 a pair when I'm trying to not spend that much on them, you know?
It becomes pricey, like, quick. I think that, like, one thing I definitely learned with trying to do my own thing on the side is that, like, I'll go on, like, these websites where people will, like, post stuff to get made, and I think that people don't, that want stuff to get made. You can tell the people that have got stuff made before, and they, like, understand how things cost, and then there's the people that just, like, completely, like, not even in the ballpark. Like,
they think it's going to be the same price as if they go to Target and buy an off-the-shelf item.
Like, I saw someone wanted a mountain bike stem that had all these crazy contours. It was like to do it in an efficient way that you could sell it, like, you needed a 5-axis machine, and they were like, yeah, $40. What? Like, I don't even think you can buy one of these now for $40. Like, I know mountain bike stuff is expensive.
And I mean, to buy the chunk of aluminum to make that out of, it's going to cost you $20 right out of the gate.
Mm-hmm. And
to get it shipped to you.
Yeah, and then to have one of them, but
yeah. Well, I know when I'm doing stuff for work, it's mostly one-off.
Yeah.
1 to 4 pieces is normal.
Yeah.
So I know that when I'm looking for, like, a stainless steel coupling, you know, this long by this big, I'm looking at $375 to $550 all day long, every single day.
Yeah.
And, like, the shops that you call up and ask them about that part, and they're like, you know, I can make it, but, like, do you know what you're getting into here? And I'm like, yeah, I know it's going to be, like, at least $375, probably more. And they're like, all right, cool. At least as long as you know that, I'll talk to you. But if you're thinking this is an $80 part, I'm going to hang up on you.
Yeah, it becomes bad. I remember, like, having to get stuff made at, like, other jobs that I've had. And it's like, oh, well, you know, we don't really like to do these one-off. It's like, charge me. I understand. Like, just charge me whatever it's going to be.
Yeah, like
I get it. I know. I need it made. Like, I need this. It's not like I only need this if it's under this price. And then you get it, like, 4 weeks later.
Yeah.
What?
You're like, this thing's cool, but, man, I wish it didn't cost me $500.
Yeah. But I feel like a lot of shops just don't know how to, like, price out for things like that. They're just used to production work. And, we don't want to set everything up for this. It's like, charge for it.
Or the shops that are good at that one-off stuff, when you try to get a quote for, like, a larger run of the same part they made you last week, you're like, this price has to come down. Like, I know that you just sold it to me for $500, but, like, I'm ordering 100 now, and $400 isn't gonna cut it.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in the $100 range for that, I see how we got there, but I know that all that $500 was in setup and programming.
That's done now.
And then your runtime was like 20 minutes total.
Yeah, it gets a little dicey with that stuff. Like, I started, like, making these parts, and I was like, I don't even know how, like, companies make money, and I think they just don't. But I don't know. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, I know how much we pay for our pegs, and I'll tell you offline if you want it, but there's not money to be made.
Yeah, there's not a lot of markup in it.
Like, people are like, well, at $20 a peg, that's outrageous, and I'm like, you had to buy the steel, it had to be machined, then it had to go out for heat treat, and after heat treat, it's sandblasted and then black oxided, and then it comes in my door, and I have to put packaging on it, and my time into packaging it, and wiping the oil off the black oxide, because if I shipped it to you as I got it, you guys would not be happy. So, I mean, by the time you do that, I'm sure I'm not making money. Yeah. When I factor my labor into it.
Yeah, there's a lot of hands and, like, shipping and stuff that goes into it. Like, I mean, good for those teams that are doing it. Like, the companies that are still, you know, going on trips and doing cool things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, and then, like, I know people will, like, you can sell it cheaper, too. And if you're just trying to make a name, like, go ahead and sell it cheaper, but at the end of the day, you gotta do it where it's sustainable. And also, like, you want to be able to hook people up with a deal, too.
yeah,
Like, if someone wants to buy 4 pegs, I'll give them the 4th one.
yeah,
It basically makes them 15 a piece instead of 20. And I'm okay with doing that for 4.
yeah. For those people that are buying that 4th one, makes sense.
But I'm losing money when I do it.
Yeah.
Or I'm at probably break even at that point. But yeah, I mean, I also sit on these pegs for so long that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it gets to the point you just want to. Like, I got a bunch. I think I probably made like 15 or something, and got them anodized,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just never posted anything.
You got them anodized the wrong color already.
Huh?
You already got them the wrong color.
Yeah. I did all the ones raw. I polished some. There's some that came out. It was just like I was kind of doing some test cuts. Like,
Did you do regular ano or hard coat ano?
hard coat?
Nice.
Yeah. This is like the same price, and I was like, it makes more sense to get it hard coated.
Yeah. It lasts so much better. It
Yeah.
looks better.
So, but yeah, I just kind of sat on them, like same deal. And I finally was like, hey, does anybody want these? A couple people picked them up, but yeah. But most of them I just kind of gave away.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. You kind of...
I kind of knew that
to,
going into
but-
it. Yeah.
But at the same time, it depends what you want to do with it, Because you could consider that failing if you're just making them and giving them away, but what are you trying to do? You're not out there advertising as a bike company.
No,
At least not at the moment.
not at the moment.
Is that something you would like to do, aspiring to do? It's like make your own sprocket and sell it all the time? Or would you rather, like, someone that wants a 27 tooth sprocket to be like, hey Mitch, make me a 27 tooth sprocket?
I don't know. I'd probably like do small runs or whatever. That's kind of what I had in my head. Make like batches of 20 or something like that, and then sell them to whoever wants them, and then just kind of keep it going. I don't know if I would do a bike company. I feel like that's, I don't know.
Stupid.
I don't want to say stupid. It's not stupid. I just don't think that at this moment, I don't think I really have the drive to get that going and things like that. But yeah, I think like Derek Gerard's doing it right. Like I look at his stuff and he like just makes stuff on the side. Like it's not like a bike company. I think that's cool. I'd be down to like make it for someone else,
right?
yeah, or something like that. Like if you were like, oh, we should make sprockets, I'd be like, all right, let's do it.
I'll make them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we should make sprockets, and you and I have already talked about that, but
yeah.
I haven't done anything with making sprockets. So, I had a design years ago that I wanted to do. I haven't done anything with it.
Yeah.
It would be full guard. So I know you're...
I would be interested to get into that. Now that I have a lathe, I think it could be easier to cut the slot and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
maybe
and
trying that.
just get large diameter stock and have like a couple feet of it laying around and just part them off, basically.
I actually cut it all out of like blanks, like square blanks. Just like...
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems... It works out better that way.
Yeah, and then you just fixture it to the lathe.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I would...
Because that's a large diameter is why I'm asking that.
How big would you get? How big would you make it?
Well, on a 25 tooth?
Yeah.
I mean, what is the diameter on a 25 tooth?
I don't know.
4 inches?
4, maybe 4 1/4.
Okay. So, I mean, it's just... You'd have
I think
to
33 is
fixture
like
to mount it
6
too.
or something. Yeah. But that's part of the fun, so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, I mean, I'm down to try that, or we do it as a 2-piece. Mount on like that guy, then you just thread one of them.
Yeah. I think one piece would be pretty solid. But yeah, I made all the first ones out of 60-61 because I didn't really have a good place to get 70-75. So I'm just kind of trying to get rid of those at this moment. But
the 60-61 is still a good sprocket, though.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I just started like looking online, and everyone makes it out of 70-75. So I was like, I guess gotta conform to this. But I have some blanks at home, but I just haven't cut any because I've been working on some other things. But
it'd be cool to like do a whole bunch of blanks, like have all the teeth, the center hole, and the sprocket mount hole done, and just do a whole bunch of blanks, and then do like customs as far as etching or details go for people.
Yeah, that was one thing that I didn't do. Like,
I can't remember who the company was now, but it was something like custom sprockets or something simple like that. But it was, I think they were a UK deal, but they did those custom sprockets for people like that. That you'd just send them what you wanted, and they would either just etch the whole face of it because they were anodized before he would do it.
Yeah, see, that's where I think I went wrong with it. Is I etched or I put like keystones on them, and then I
anodized them. Yeah, but it's two setups that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks super cool when you've got just the blank and you anodized it black, and then you come in
and you cut it out.
Any cutouts you do, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the way to go. Yeah, I didn't really like leave a lot of room for engraving anything. I know like some people wanted things engraved, so I did it. It didn't really come out that well at all. But they seemed to be stoked on it, so it wasn't what I would be. I wasn't pumped on it, but they were pretty pumped. So. But yeah,
cool.
25 is good.
Can you see that in the camera?
I don't know. Can you?
A little bit.
So
when you held it up, it went blurry. There you go.
Trying to focus on the sprocket.
Yeah.
But yeah. I came out. Just wanted to put something a little unique. I just wanted to keep it like really simple. I don't know. I don't really like real complicated things.
I mean, what I like about this is that it's just a standard spoke pattern. Like,
yeah, it's very symmetric.
When you look at a lot of companies, they've got like intricate geometry going on, but it's either like something that ends out here, that there's no structural addition to that.
Yeah.
Like, sure, it looks cool, I guess, but then you see others that like, well, it looks cool, but it's actually really weak now because you did that.
Yeah, I tried to keep a decent amount of meat, like where the spindle goes. You know, try to keep it from bending, but I just wanted it to look clean. That was it. Same with a stem. Like I tried to do a stem. Like the first one I did, I kind of wanted to make it like all boxy, like nice chamfered edges. And then after it got done, like on paper, you know, the CAD model looked great. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome. And I got it. I was like, Then I made some like smooth contours and like put like radiuses on it.
Yeah, and just surfaced it.
Yeah, I think it came out all right. I haven't weighed it or anything, but it's maybe a little heavier than most. Like I don't know, maybe like 12, 13 ounces. That's heavier than most.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have it hollow through the center though? Like a lot of them.
I did a little pocket in there, but I don't want to get rid of a lot of meat. Like I don't.
Especially when you don't know what you're doing necessarily with it.
Yeah, I mean, I ran like I crunched the numbers and did some simulation on it and stuff, and it. From everything that I can see, it's gonna hold up. But like I don't, for another ounce, like I don't care about that.
No. All of a sudden, you send one of your friends to the hospital because it snapped off.
Yeah, I don't want someone like going in because they like went over the bars because it broke off. And I also like didn't want to bore the holes for like the whole way through. Like I did the two front ones, but the ones that are in the back of the stem, I felt like that was just a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
To put holes the whole way through it, so it wasn't bad, blind holes, but yeah. Pretty cool. I got one of those anodized for a buddy. So seems like it.
Yeah. You got a good anodizing hookup then? If you're getting like onesie twosie things done?
Yeah, I mean, they just charged me for a batch. They're like, well, how much is it? And I was like, it's not more than your minimum batch costs.
Yeah.
Like, okay, send the models over. And they're like, oh, yeah, this definitely isn't it. So, but they were cool. I go to like Pittsburgh Anodizing. They're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It's definitely not in Pittsburgh. But, yeah, it's go up to the turnpike and then you get off. Maybe somewhere around 28, and then another 20 minutes driving out through the woods. But yeah, my buddy told me about them, but they're decently priced, and I just took them like a box of just random parts, and they're like, okay, they just like wrote like multiple parts on it, and then they're like, you'll be done in 5 days, and they called me the next day. They're like, yep, we're done.
Yeah, they just threw it in the next time they had something quick, and they can bill you. See, all those places love when they have stuff that's actually below the minimum order.
Yeah.
Because they can dump it in real quick.
Just a bunch in there at once.
And bill you for more money than they would get on anyone else's work. And it's done, billed. And you're probably paying like on the spot because the credit terms don't make sense when you're just doing one-off stuff.
Yeah. I think I just paid on the spot.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a cool experience getting things anodized. You know the one like I made for my buddy, I like got it anodized and then etched it afterward, and it came out pretty cool. So I had to like try to align it up with like the grooves that I already cut for the keystone.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed to come out cool. If I did it again, that's what I'd do. Just get the blanks anodized and strap them in and etch it. Or engrave, I guess.
Do them before you profile the teeth down too.
Yeah, that would be one way to do it. That would be kind of cool.
I think Season Bikes used to do theirs that way.
Oh, yeah.
The teeth were still silver. Except around the profile on it.
Huh. Oh, so they cut the profile of the teeth, but they milled down the thickness afterwards.
Yeah.
Huh.
It just gave a really cool look. Not that the chain didn't hide all of it, but...
Yeah.
If you're already setting it up again, I guess you cut your runtime down one way, added to it the other.
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. But yeah, they're good feeling sprocket. Not that heavy.
It's got some weight in your hand. Feels like you're holding something.
It's no more than like a pocket full of change.
Yeah.
So, if you have change in your pockets.
No different. Yeah, I don't know
a
what's
sprocket in general, not only Mitch's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it so far. The one I've been riding's been sweet.
Cool. Yeah, I figured I'd like fire some to you for for your jam coming up and give it away or something like that.
Well, then I need a logo for the flyer.
I don't have a logo.
Okay. I'll just type MHS.
Yeah, MHS Manufacturing.
What is MHS?
I didn't know I was bad at coming up with names, so I just came up with Mitch's Hobby Shop. I didn't know, and I think I was like trying to rush through it. I was like, yeah, this will probably work. But
I mean,
until something else comes along,
you know,
yeah. I want to do like McCracken machining or something like that. Because I don't want it to sound too professional. I guess it says manufacturing. I don't want someone to like Google it and then like just show a picture of my house and be like, what's going on here? This isn't.
Yeah, I mean, people do that though.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone like some place in Pittsburgh got a hold of me and they were like, hey, can you make this part like in a day? Sure. I guess. So it didn't stop them, but
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. Like, I hope that I guess, like, I kind of just wanted it to turn into, like, someone needs something, and then I can get it to them faster and cheaper than someone else, and
yeah,
it, exercises my mind. But yeah, to do that or whatever.
I guess
something.
The question then with anything like this, whether it's like what I'm doing with GrindWorks or anything else, like, if the work got to the point where it was like, all right, I need to either start turning stuff down or I need to do this full time, would you want to pursue that as a full-time operation and like be in a building and running that, or would you
I definitely would do that.
Not want to do that?
No, I think I'd do that. I mean, I've never done that before, so I'd definitely give it a try. And like, work's kind of lame for the most part. Like, so why not try working for yourself? It's probably a little bit cooler. But,
see, I've always felt the opposite on that.
Really?
At least, I guess it's different because that is in the operation, like the idea of a whole machine shop versus like GrindWorks as a bike company. Like, if it got to the point where it was just too big, I want nothing to do with it. You know, it was never the goal, I guess. So, I don't know. It just feels weird to me. But, yeah, like, I don't have that desire.
Yeah, it just seems like in my mind that would be like a job that I would enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a friend that he lives here and he has like a machine shop and he basically does that. So I don't think that's going to happen. So.
Well, I mean, so many people run machine shops around here too. Like, when you get into the outskirts of Pittsburgh, it's like every other intersection has a machine shop on it for the most part. And it's even in like the small, weird rural towns.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like machine shop, house, grocery store, machine shop, dollar store, Dollar General, McDonald's, machine shop. And I know there's a handful right up by my work, and we are out in rural in Leesburg. But it's good. Like, you know, they all know each other. They're, I would say, friendly with one another. They even cross work to each other. Like, hey, I'm too busy. You want to hit this one? And I'll just pay you for it.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a very like cutthroat business to be in. It's more like they know what they're, everybody has their capabilities, and one person, has a super large machine with a bunch of travel. So sometimes it gets farmed from one to another, and then someone's machine's down, and then they're, like phone a friend for help. But
yeah, I feel like that would actually be the biggest problem if you didn't have the network of people, like a friend that already has a shop or something. Be like, I'm having issues with this. Like, what am I doing wrong? Or do you just want to cut this one and I'll just pay you?
Yeah, he's definitely like I have another friend that programs a bunch of machines and stuff. He used to be my old roommate. Like, he was the one who showed me how to run at my first job. And he's definitely helped me out a bunch. Like, I call him and like, what's going on here? Like, oh no. No, that's not going to work in the program. Don't use that profile. And then that other guy, like, I helped him out. Like, I think that was going on too when we were trying to do it, is I was like helping him out on the weekends because he was swamped, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll come try this out. But super helpful. It was like fun. Got to go in there, learn some things, showed me around.
I only know enough to get in trouble on a machine.
Yeah.
So, like, I know a lot of the info, but to execute, I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm definitely not at that point. I'm not a machinist by any means.
Yeah.
But
you know how to get started and make a sprocket or a stem, so.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know. We gotta try to figure
sprockets.
something fun out. Sprockets, bar ends.
Bar ends, I think, is very doable.
That's another one. You could really do blanks, like, and then just do different etchings on the ends for different people. Those ones that are on that bike right there are the bar end guy. So he was one of the buddies of the Nowhere dudes out in Nebraska.
Okay.
But he moved maybe a year or two ago now back to Youngstown. He lives in Youngstown now. Doesn't have anyone making those for him anymore.
Huh.
So if you want to get into bar ends, I don't know if he's probably not listening or watching or whatever, but
yeah.
If we're gonna try some, his are pretty pretty stock and could be easily done.
I feel like I made a pair in college at one point in time. Seemed pretty simple. I didn't even like knurl them or anything, but they seemed to hold up fine.
I don't think most people do.
Yeah.
It's funny to look at like different sets of bar ends, how some of them are all knurled and they've got like O-rings on them to help keep them in place, and then others are just like little caps with 3 set screws in it to help center it and just hold it tight. You know, like, well, those are just completely different approaches.
Both work.
Or the expansion style, just like that with the straight.
Yeah, the expansion
Smooth.
style's cool. I feel like that's old school. That's like how I remember bar ends, like metal ones, not the plastic ones with.
Yeah,
Not
not the
those
one where it just
expansions,
flares out, but yeah, no, the wedge style.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still probably the easiest way to do it.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad that there's a bunch of other people making bike parts and doing their own thing. It's always cool. Like, I like it when you get to see someone like doing their own thing for, whether it's, if they're not trying to make money, they're just trying to do something on the side. I don't know. That's cool. I'll probably always support someone who wants to just do their own thing.
I like it, and I started doing it a lot more when I started GrindWorks.
Yeah.
I'm like stuttering over myself. I don't know why I'm doing it. Like repeating words and everything. I catch myself with a lot of weird. I just did it again with a lot of weird speech habits while doing this because.
Oh really?
I'm like hyper aware.
Oh. See, I'll probably listen to it and be like, "That's what I sound like." I used to have a lisp for like a kind of while. Like I feel like I kind of broke it. Like I used to have a flipper. It's from like no teeth, and like takes up a lot of room in your mouth, like surprisingly. And then I somehow developed a lisp through that. But
I had one when I was young, and I did speech therapy and stuff like that. But I just, like last month, got my tongue tie taken care of.
what's a tongue tie?
It's when the web on your tongue is too big, so you can't actually stick your tongue out properly or articulate it.
Oh.
So, like I could stick my tongue out a little bit. It didn't affect anything really, but it does affect speech and some other little things. But I got mine done because my baby's was actually really bad, and he couldn't stick his tongue out. And he also had the upper lip was webbed.
Oh, okay.
So, like, that will cause your front teeth to grow in goofy, and so he got his taken care of. I got mine taken care of. That's kind of cool.
Bonding moment.
Yeah, we did it separately.
Oh.
We were going to have him done roughly the same time, but he kept biting the nurse.
No.
So they had to, like, reschedule it and order in bite blockers and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I bite too, don't worry.
Yeah.
I had a handful of other manufacturing questions, and then, like...
Just went on a tangent talking about
I mean...
all the different bike parts.
Yeah, it is what it is. You gonna make nipples?
No. So I never want to lace a wheel again. Last time I needed a wheel lace, Chris Adamson did it for me. So he was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." He's like, "I'm." I was like, "You like want money?" And he's like, "No, I like that's not the currency that I deal in." So I gave him like a box of beer or something. But it was cool.
Yeah.
I think it was when I got that hub back
just
in profile.
Started doing them like a lot when I had the ice house.
Yeah.
And it's because I had all the inventory to do it. But prior to that, I always paid my buddy Derek to do it.
Yeah.
I hate building wheels. Hated. I have to
Yeah.
clarify that. And I don't know why, but I just didn't like doing it. and I would always pay him to do it. I would always pay him to true my wheels. And then I ended up with all the inventory from his shop and no 5 hours from him. I'm like, I guess I'm the one that does this now.
Yeah.
So, I
mean,
I've
skip
done...
mine, it's like way off center, and then it's like not concentric, and then I just ride it anyway. But
I got mine. I mean, I just did one a couple days ago. My back wheel, and then I built a whole bunch of Tyler's wheels for him. I've built wheels for Alex. I've built wheels for our buddy Zach. I've built a ton of wheels at this point, and now it's just like second nature to just sit down, throw a BMX video on, lace a wheel.
Do you do them all, the inside lace?
I'll do it any way that anyone wants it, but inside is my preferred way.
Makes sense.
It's the best way. No, I mean, it really depends. Like, regular 3-cross is the easiest way to lace a wheel. Hands down. But to lace it 4-cross regular, yeah, I mean, it's like the same as the 3-cross regular. 4-cross all inside, you have to, like, fish hook every single spoke for the last half of the wheel. Because when you build the normal wheel, you put the inside spokes in, and you're good to go. And then you drop the outside ones through, and they like just flop right into the spot where they gotta be. You can't like pick your spoke up.
Just like constantly bending them.
You have to bend them into little C's and just weave it through so that it gets up into the open space, and then force it past, and then straighten it back out. And your thumb goes numb doing it.
Yeah, that's not something that I'm trying to get into. But...
I'll do it for anyone that wants 4-cross all inside.
Yeah, I've definitely done a bunch, but they never really come out good when I do it. I remember, I think the first one I did, there's this like indoor park that used to be by Indiana. It was in Clymer. And it was called Studio 334, like it was in all the old Square One videos, like Doyle and all them wrote it all the time. And they had a shop in Indiana, the guy who ran that. And I think whenever they closed it down, they ended up, maybe the shop went on a little longer, and then they closed the shop. And they just had like a, whatever, it was an old Odyssey front hub. I was like, oh yeah, I'll buy that. And I was like, you guys have a rim? And they were like, yeah, sure. Do you have spokes to go along with this? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I got it, and it was like 2-cross, like they were not the right spokes, but that was like all I could get out of it. I rode it for a long time, but that was the first one. Yeah.
Really funny.
Yeah.
I did a wheel for Tyler a while ago. You might have seen it around. He was only on it for about a month because it was an interim deal.
Yeah.
We had the wrong length spokes, and they were like just a hair too short to do 4-cross. So I did what's called radial twist. And as you can put whatever length spokes you want in, and you just twist it.
Oh, where they wrap around each other?
Nope. No. You just straight, like a Walmart bike radial, and then you just turn the hub until they're tight, and then you put the opposing ones in.
Oh.
And it looks awesome.
Oh, really?
But it kind of doesn't stay true that well. Like it doesn't have any cross tension on it, so it looks awesome though, and it's really good if you just need to put a wheel together quick and you don't have the right length spokes. So it'll keep you rolling on the road.
Just not straight for long.
Well, it's weird because you know when you're tightening a wheel and it starts to get really tight. It doesn't do that. You just keep tightening it because it's just pulling on one spoke at a time. So it's really hard to judge when everything is tight and balanced, and it's easy enough to do on the truing stand, but yeah, it's weird when you're doing it straight up. Like on the fly, you can't true that wheel.
Yeah, see, I never had I always used forks or brakes or whatever.
I bought the truing stand when I moved down here and couldn't just send my wheel to Derek anymore and be like, you do this. I don't want to do it.
Yeah. They come in handy, I think.
I've used it a ton. I almost bought the one with a dial indicator on it, and I'm like, I can't do it to myself. If there's a dial indicator, I'll be like, I can get closer than this.
It'll be there forever.
Like, 15 thousandths isn't good enough. Like, I need 7. And you get it at 7, you're like,
I bet I could do this.
I could do 3.
Yeah.
I could totally do 3. No, I'm not doing that to myself. So, no dial indicator on a truing stand.
Yeah. I feel like people get really into that. I thought Park Tool used to. Maybe it wasn't them. My buddy was telling me they made one that had several dial indicators on it for
It did for the hop and everything.
And he's like, only the best bike shops had this. And I was like, I always thought that cool that I don't know if it was like a Phil Wood tool, but the one that cuts spokes and then rolls.
Yeah,
the
it does
threads.
the roll thread.
That was always so cool.
I have a 2.2 millimeter die for cutting spoke threads.
Yeah. Huh.
But stainless spokes and a tiny little 2.2 millimeter die,
Yeah.
you can't do it.
I just thought that
You
was
can't do it. So, because I was going to do some just to thread them down further.
Oh,
So I thought it would look really cool. It would, but you just can't do it. They're way too hard and gummy
yeah.
to twist that tiny little die down. So I gave up on it and just bought spokes.
Yeah, that's probably the way to do it.
I guess so.
Yeah, some things like that just not worth. I guess if you have motivation, you're bored.
I mean, I have the tool still. It's a cool tool to have, but I feel like it's relatively worthless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't imagine what I would ever want to use it for, or even what you would be hand tapping. You'd have to use it on aluminum, or maybe a 12L14 or something. I feel like in that tiny diameter, it would just ruin itself and snap off. Or you wouldn't have enough grip to hold on to it anyway.
Yeah, on the spoke itself.
Yeah. It's just a really weird tool in my eyes. I was like, I don't know when you're going to ever use this thing, actually. It's what it is.
Now you know.
Now you know. Just get a roll threader. You can get a cheaper one than that Phil Wood.
Oh, really?
But it's still really expensive.
Yeah. Just I remember just getting a couple spokes cut one time at a bike shop and be like, what is that? It looked really good.
Well, they're really expensive to get that done. I think the last time I tried to get spokes cut to length and threaded, they were gonna be $1.50 a piece, and I was gonna be building 2 wheels, and I'm like, no.
Yeah. It's expensive.
Well, if I needed 1 or 2 spokes to replace in my wheel, I'm really not gonna worry about that. I'm gonna be like, yeah, but here's your $3, I'm out. But yeah, I was gonna do at least 72 spokes. At $1.50 a piece would have been over $100 just in spokes to build a wheel, 2 wheels. That's gonna be bad. I'm not ever doing that.
I don't know if I ever got a bunch of them cut. I know I definitely got a couple.
Yeah, you wouldn't even think about it when it's 1 or 2, because you're like, it's a couple bucks, okay, whatever. But for reference, the wheel I just built, I think they were 20 cents a piece.
Oh, that's way cheaper. What are they? Steel?
Primo stainless steel. It might have been 25 or something, but either way, they're not $1.50.
Yeah, significantly different.
What about hubs? Any desire to do like a front hub?
I think front hub would be the simplest, definitely.
Yeah, I don't think you'd want to get into the back.
No, the back's like, I feel
You
like
gotta
you
deal
gotta
with the
EDM
driver.
some parts for the driver, and then not maybe if I had infinite time at some point. But
Front hub would be a cool one though. I feel like there's so many different ways you could do it.
yeah, I don't know if I don't really have any ideas for that to make it look any different. I feel like it would just look like every other front hub, which is fine, but
I guess it would really come down to like how you're fitting the hardware, because the hardware being the right size to line up with a peg is something that would be really nice.
what do you mean? What's the problem?
It's all undersized. So
Oh.
like you get your peg coming in, then you get the fork, and then you get hardware, so it leaves a gap that you can wedge.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So like if the hardware is the same diameter as the peg, it just runs you straight in and you can grind all the way across. That's that bike and the one I'm riding right now both have custom machine front hardware.
Oh, is that? Yeah, because most of the time it's not like that. I might have a hub guard on mine. Maybe I don't.
Yeah, I mean the hub guard thing works out pretty well too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I think that's like whenever I remember when like I first met you and I was like, "Whoa, who made those hub guards?" And you're like, "Oh, my friend did." And
yeah,
they're
the
made
sheet
out of
metal ones.
they're made out of like a sign or something. I think you had them.
Yeah.
And then I started looking and I was like, "Whoa, where did all that metal come from on your dropouts?" I was like, "What?" I just started like noticing all the
I've been meaning to do a bike check video for a while.
yeah.
But the idea came up like 2 days after I had posted the podcast about this, like the worst hub I've ever ridden.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
like, this is going on hold for
Yeah.
a little while. I don't know. I mean, I've got a new hub though. And I just put some brand new old pegs on. The heavy foundation pegs. Like, I need some good heavy pegs again. No one else is gonna ride them anyway. But those 5-inch ones are too long, man. I just
Is that what
couldn't
you
do it.
got over there? Is
That's
that what
what-
I was eyeing up?
Yeah. These were 5-inch pegs, customs made, because everyone was ordering custom pegs, and I was like, heck, if everyone else is ordering 5s, I'm getting a set for myself.
That's so big. I think mine are like 4.
The normal ones we do are 4.5.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And you would think that that's not really that much of a difference. These were right at the point where you couldn't not ching things.
Yeah.
Like whenever you would hop into a tight tranny or something, the angle you'd have to come in at to not clip your peg was so steep that you couldn't power through it. But yeah. So you have a lathe now. You want to do pegs?
Yeah,
I don't think
wanna
you
get
do.
into that.
Not without CNC.
Yeah,
and
that's a lot of boring.
You need a huge, like the horsepower to be cutting all the way back here. It's a big lathe.
Yeah.
Because they, actually every shop that I've had do these, the first time they do them, does not listen to the fact that they should not do them out of pre-hardened. They're like, no, what's the big deal? It'll be fine. I'm like, don't do it out of pre-hard, man. Like, you're gonna regret it. They're like, no, it's not that deep. It's that deep.
Yeah.
It starts to chatter. It ruins their tip. They can't cut it.
Yeah, that's
But I
it's
mean,
kind of a deep hole to just be shoving a boring bar down.
I mean, even on a 4 1/4 inch peg, it's over 4 inches deep.
Yeah.
So, on these, it's almost 5 inches deep. And I really wanted a set of 6.66 just to do it. And the shop was like, "You're insane, man. I might be able to do it, but I also might ruin the boring bar and the cutter, and like I don't want to do that." I'm like, "All right, fine." So there's no 6.66s.
Not yet.
Not until the next time around. I mean, I think there's a better way to do it in the first place. I think if he just invested in the flat bottom drill at the right length to do this, and had a custom end where you can have the insert to do the drill through at the two different sizes, so you can change the end out on the drill, would be the way to do it. But then you're into custom tooling.
Which, yeah, that becomes expensive.
I mean, when you're buying hundreds of these, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're sitting there fighting with tooling every time you make them. Just make them the easy way. But yeah, after the first round, everyone just orders the soft material and heat treats it after.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I told you. Don't be dumb. But I get it. I'm not the machinist. They are. And they're like, you don't know my machine. You're right. I know 4140 pretty well at this point. Plus, I like them heat treated more than what the pre-hard comes at. So it's like, it's always an exception. If they use pre-hard, they're like, well, it's only gonna be to this hardness, right? I'm like, if that's the way you're gonna do it anyway, then I'll take it. But if you can harden it to the right hardness when you use the soft.
I feel like I had heat treated pegs at one point in time. A long time ago. It changed forever. Ding. You just hear it go on. It was like a fork.
The grind noise is amazing, actually. Off that extra couple hardness points, you get like this good shing that you don't get with a lot of pegs. Now you get a thunk.
Yeah. The plastic pegs.
Yeah. Or a crack.
I heard the crack. I did have plugs when they came out. I was like, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, I didn't really grind stuff that much, but...
Are you still on aluminum pegs?
No, mine are steel. I think I have like...
I thought you had some like aluminum, or maybe they're just aluminum core with a steel press sleeve.
No, they're shadow pegs, actually. That's why... Yeah, they're only 4 inches. I've been afraid to go to the 4.5.
Do it.
Maybe I'll get a pair and try them out. But yeah.
I got 5s.
I think that's maybe too much of a step up for me.
I don't recommend 5 at all. I'm so used to my bike, and even those, like, it didn't matter how long I rode them. I had them on over about a year. Every time I went to hop up something, I didn't like it. I'm like, it's just so far that it was uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing your bike with them. You're like, whoa.
So it's really funny right now because I went to the 4 1/4 foundations, and the diameter is so much bigger, and they're 3/4 of an inch shorter, that when I look down now, it's like...
It's like optical illusion. It looks way...
Optical illusion is that they're really, really fat and tiny.
Yeah, no, I think mine are just steel. They're whatever, the shadow pegs.
Okay, so they're like a soft steel.
Yeah, I think so. I don't really use them, though. I think they're
Ice
just kind
picks
of on
dolls.
it. Ice picks, that's it. The front one looks like it's brand new. I think at one point the pin, like the anti-roll pin, fell out of it, and I put it in the wrong spot. So there's like 2 spots where the paint's wore off. But I've had them for like 10, I don't know. I don't want to say 10 years, but maybe.
Long time.
Not that long. Probably, maybe like 6 or 7. But yeah, I don't really use my pegs that much. But
I don't know. I mean, I think the only thing I've seen you do is like maybe ice pick stalls and maybe like a feeble easy every now and then.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes I do the feet switch, and that makes feeble grinds like geez even easier. But I guess maybe on like quarters, do some sort of ice pick grind, something. But yeah, I think I rode pegless one time. All my friends were like, "You should ride pegless. You should take your brakes off." And I was like, "Okay." And then I was like, "I don't know what to do." I rode a lot of street back then, but
I've tried to do the pegless thing because people are like, yeah, make yourself think differently.
yeah,
You're like, if I want to have a session and not use my pegs, I will. But to not have them on is just annoying.
yeah,
Like, I like the weight of my bike. I like the way it feels. And then when they're not on there, nothing feels right. And next week when I want to go grind something, I have to go put my pegs on. Like, that's just frustrating.
yeah.
It's never lasted more than like 3 days for me.
Yeah, maybe someday I'll take them off, but yeah,
I just spilled water all over myself.
it happens. Happens to the best of us. Yeah.
It's my favorite part of any podcast. It's just
Refilling up.
right into the microphone.
I could see the
Perfect.
shadow of it slowly encroaching to
Yeah.
like the top of the rim.
It's like a weird perspective because I kept feeling like I was pouring it on the microphone. But, I don't know. It's cool enough.
Yeah. What else?
I don't know. What else are you doing? What do you do other than making these bad boys?
That's about it.
'Cause I know I only see you like once a month maybe. We like bump into each other at the wheel mill.
Yeah, I don't know, like I feel like I ride more now than I have recently, but I don't ride that, like I'll go to the mill and get an hour or two session in. But I usually, like my one friend Bob that I usually ride with, we went to high school together, so that's how I know him. And we usually like, he always works in the city and he's like in the carpenters union, so he's always off work by like 3 or 3:30. So I try to like immediately rush out of work, like drive there as fast as I can and get a quick session in.
Mm-hmm.
But usually I'm on the way out and I see like the normal, like the locals coming in and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we're out here.
Yeah, I know. I'll see you and like, oh man, I haven't seen you in a while. Like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, yeah, I'm done. Tired. No one.
I saw you were pulling up, so I decided to leave.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's not like that. So.
No, it's never felt like that.
But yeah,
But
I've been trying to ride more, so that takes up time. I have like a dog at home, so it takes time. Do stuff with him on the weekends, try to fit everything in.
sweet.
So it's good. It's a good experience. Dogs.
You go. Your family's all up in Punxsutawney still,
Yeah, they're around that area.
so you go up that way occasionally. Too,
Occasionally.
I assume.
I really don't go back there very often.
What is it, like an hour and a half? Roughly?
Yeah, it's hour and a half from the side of the city. So
It's gonna be a new park out that way.
there's gonna be a new park where?
New Bethlehem.
Oh, really? Like, what kind of park?
Indoor street park.
Oh, really?
24-hour bike park is what he's trying to do.
Oh, that's cool.
I talked about it on one of the recent episodes here, but it is actually posted right now.
Yeah.
It's with Rhett Atwood that's doing it.
Hmm.
But he's got the building location down. He's been posting stuff on the Instagram.
What is it? What's the Instagram tag?
Block Skate Park.
Block Skate Park. I'll have to check that out. That's cool.
kind of low ceilings.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to do a street park, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. That's all you need.
Doing a bike shop. He's like right on the Red Bank Valley Trail.
Okay.
So.
Have to check that out.
Hopefully that goes well for him. The location's not necessarily ideal for like Pittsburgh BMX, but
yeah,
I don't know
how far
what
that is from Pittsburgh.
Probably an hour and a half because it's pretty close to Punxsutawney.
Yeah, it's not that bad. You'll hit it before you hit Punxsy if you're going that way, like on the 28 way.
Yeah.
But
I see. I don't know what the scene up that way is because you got like Du Bois, you got Punxsutawney.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. If
there might be the scene to hold that down.
They might. That's not too far. You always had. I don't know how far Ridgeway and that is because that was always like a big scene.
Bellefonte
when I
and
was
State
younger.
College isn't terribly far.
Yeah, that might be a little.
45 minutes maybe.
No, I think it might be further. Because State College was probably 2 hours.
Okay.
I think from Punxsutawney, and then I think New Bethlehem's even further because you take 80 and then you come down through like Brookville and stuff. But I don't know what the scene's like. I talked to Bob and I was trying to figure out, ask him like, when was the last time you were at the Punxsy skate park? And he's like, oh, it was horrible. I can't ride that place anymore. Like, it was bad. That park was. I shouldn't say it was bad, but it was built by a bunch of teenagers that were really eager to have a skate park. And it was put together very half-assed, and then we just kind of dealt with it after that.
And now it's dilapidated. And
yeah, there's like some 6-foot quarters. I remember there's like the prefab woodward parks, and there's like there's certain parts of it that you had to hit. Like if you went from like you spun to the left, it was better because that quarter pipe on the far right was like really good, but the one on the far left, the coping stuck out real far. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the scene is like that up there. I don't know if there's any kids that still ride. Yeah. And then Du Bois, I mean, they always had a decent amount of kids there that used to ride. But, Ridgeway, same area.
Well, yeah, because Chris, I mean, you mentioned Chris Adamson earlier. He would have been Du Bois' crew.
Yeah, because I knew him from up there, because that's actually, I went to the Penn State there in Du Bois. So I would always, and my buddy, like, a real good friend back in the day, Rich, used to work at the bike shop, and he still works there, but, yeah, so I'd go, like, hang out in between classes and just, like, hang out there and do whatever, but Chris worked there too. But yeah, I don't know. I imagine there's got to be people that ride there. So
I can't imagine anywhere where there's just no riding.
yeah,
Like there might not be a big scene, but I can't imagine any town where there's like no kids that go out on bikes.
yeah,
And I guess maybe we're headed that way, with like just more and more indoor kids and video gaming and anything like that. But it's always been like that. Like our whole generation grew up playing video games, so I can't imagine like that wouldn't be the case. That kids still get out and ride bikes.
Like there's got to be kids getting
And
out. Like they got to go
skateboard.
like smoke cigarettes somewhere and do stuff. I don't know.
Take it as a positive or negative, but even scooter riding, like, sure, it's lame, but those kids are out doing something. And, they're helping to keep the skate parks open, they're helping to keep the bike shops open.
Yeah.
It is what it is, but they're still getting out. So, point is, it's not like it's dying off completely. And I guess I'm looking at it narrow-minded, thinking bike. Because there's skateboard, there's scooter. If there's a few unicorns out there, there's inline skating.
I did see someone on inline skates recently.
It's always every time I see someone at the park with inline skates, I'm like, where'd you come from?
Yeah. Don't see that very often.
No, it's like one or two dudes still do it around here that I know of. And even that, it's like very rare to see them. I don't know. I wonder if there's any scene growing with that, or if it's just like the dudes that know, and anyone else is just completely in the dark.
It could be. I mean, like, I feel like to a lot of people, maybe like even BMX is kind of in the dark. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like a lot of people don't know really that. Maybe they do. I don't know.
We had a fun discussion about this on one of the podcasts that isn't posted just yet. But we were talking about that, like other people looking at it and like tricks that just look dumb. And it's like, not that they're not fun to do, but like turn downs.
Yeah.
For someone that doesn't ride.
They're like, what's that? Why are they getting all tangled up? Yeah.
It's like a really, really good one, like Doyle's, where it's like cranked to 270 and you're actually wrapped in the bike.
Yeah.
Can look good, but like a normal, like just snap to 180, turn down and back, just it's like the weirdest little wiggle.
I mean, definitely for someone who doesn't know, like, what?
Yeah, like, what did you just, I mean, what was that?
I always thought it'd be weird, like, if you're just like some guy or girl or whatever, you're like out in the woods, like walking your dog, or you're like hunting or doing like, I don't know, like wood stuff, and you're just like walking through the woods and you just like stumble across these massive dirt jumps in the woods, like what
with carpet on them.
Yeah, like what's the thought that goes through that person's head?
They're tarped.
Are they like, there's a dirt bike track in here, or like what even thought, like, I want to find someone who's had that experience and then interview them to find out what, like, did aliens build these?
Especially really, really good trails.
Yeah, like big jumps. I'm not talking like some little kid put 2 wheelbarrows down and half the jump lip is the hole that they dug to get the dirt out of to put on top of it.
Yeah. And you're talking at least something like Monroeville, where there's plenty of good jumps. Or, what's the one closer to the city?
Hazelwood? Yeah.
Something like that.
I've never been, but I've heard that they are very large jumps.
I'm looking at it purely from, like, the perfectly sculpted, like, sharp corners and stuff. You'd be like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
That is, a sight to see. But yeah, if you didn't know, you couldn't even understand it.
Yeah, I don't know what would even go through your mind. I guess the only logical thing I thought of was like dirt bikes.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, and then just if they could see what it really was, because they probably, if you stumbled upon that like it was your neighborhood or something, you're gonna come back and just like see what's up with it.
Yeah, sooner or later you'll probably see some like kids going through the woods or.
But I feel like for the most part, anyone that's stumbling across that, it's probably the other way around. Like, they've seen people in and out of the woods with their bikes all the time, and they're like, what the heck's going on down there?
That's how they got there. They're like, I see these little kids going in here.
Yeah. Well, what's going on down here? And then you already know what's up with it. But yeah, the totally unaware finding of that would be really interesting to get a perspective on. And I'm not sure that it would ever happen.
Yeah. It's like weird. I think a lot of people don't like really grasp that people would do it. Mm-hmm. And like, I think you said it earlier, like talking about how people, like, the generations like getting older, like people are still riding, like maybe they got out of it and they're like coming back in it. But I see like a lot of people that are, I feel like whenever I was younger, there wasn't people like in their mid-30s riding that weren't like pros.
Right. No, I mean, you hit 18, 19, and then you're just done.
But I think that like some people, like, I don't know, people that I work with or something, they're like, oh, what are you doing like for your vacation? I'm like, oh, we're driving to Colorado. I'm like, oh, what are you doing there? Like, we're just gonna like camp and ride bikes. Like, oh, like mountain bikes? Oh, like dirt bikes? No.
BMX.
Yeah. Oh, the whole way out there. Yeah. Like, I just try to just answer like very abruptly. Like,
yeah.
I don't really want to go into details with this.
You're like, you're not gonna understand.
Yeah.
You're gonna be disapproving for no real reason.
So you guys like have a camper? No.
You're like, camping is even a loose word. Like, we're barely gonna have a tent.
Yeah.
You might consider it homeless for a weekend. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of like that. But
Urban camping. I always feel like that when we're going out to like even Chicago or something where it's more like city.
yeah.
They're like, what are you going to Chicago for? To ride bikes. Well, are you going to do like any tourist stuff? And like, I mean, I'll see some stuff, but I'm going to be there to ride bikes.
Yeah.
Not like going to anything. I don't see myself like not riding bikes for an afternoon to go check out this thing over here that like I'll ride past it and go, oh, that looks cool. Keep moving. But at the same time, it's like you've been in Colorado. I've been to out to Chicago a handful of times or whatever. I've seen more of that city or the town or whatever than these people that go there to tour things ever have. Because they go to like the nice part of town, do the touristy stuff, and then they go to their hotel and they leave.
Yeah.
And we've like pedaled across the entire city. And gotten to the parts where you're like, I don't know that we should go down this road. We should turn around. I'm like, no, let's go anyway. There's got to be a school down that road.
Exploring.
Yeah, you see all sorts of weird stuff. It's fun. I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I think that's part of the reason why, I don't know, going on trips is always fun. Like with hanging out with the dudes. Just, you don't really have like the biggest thing that you have to worry about is where to pitch a tent or whatever, but or like where you're gonna ride tomorrow.
I've never gotten into the camping side though.
Yeah.
I think it's my allergies and like it's always kind of deterred me from caring or wanting to.
Yeah, I can see that. It would be very frustrating having to deal with stuff like that.
And then like even like staying with other people and they're like, oh, you can crash at my place. I'm like, probably not.
Yeah.
Because it's like not my business to be like, oh, you have a cat? Like, no, can't crash with you. Or like, oh, I'm allergic to your dog. Like, oh, you smoke in your house? Like, that's not going to be good for me. Like, no, I'll just grab a hotel. We're cool.
Yeah. Sometimes easier.
Yeah, because otherwise it's like, I got to ask you a bunch of personal questions that like, if you answer no, then you feel bad that you offered me to stay at your house and I can't. Or, you know, whatever. And it's like, I don't know. I'm not trying to come across as that picky, but just no.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I offer everyone to stay here.
Yeah, you do always have like crews of people coming through. It's cool.
It's probably going to be less and less now.
Yeah.
With the baby around. Like, you know, last year we did it for the jam, but he was only 6 months old. He was like barely moving around.
Yeah.
Now it's like he just owns the place and the whole apartment is his playpen. Yeah. And there's toys everywhere and it would actually be quite fun and anyone's welcome to try it, but just, you know, he's up at like 7 a.m. And if they're sleeping out on the floor, they're going to get hit with toys.
Yeah.
At 7 a.m.
7 a.m. wake up call. But
yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Got anything planned though? Trips or otherwise for your short term?
Nothing solid. Nothing like riding wise. So, but hopefully try to go on like a trip every year just to go somewhere different, see some new things. But yeah, did a Colorado trip with some guys last year. And I know one dude from college and another guy that I met through him. We always seem to go on trips. Went to Texas the year before that. Hang out with my one friend down there. Then Arizona before that. try to go once. I don't go somewhere different every time. But
we just did Florence, Kentucky.
Yeah.
The Ollie's was closing.
Oh, really?
So our buddy Brian hit us up and was like, hey, this isn't public knowledge yet, but Ollie's is going to be closing. They haven't announced it yet to keep it on the down low, but like, come out this weekend. We're like, all right. So we went out there, and then the day before we went, they announced that they were closing, and then before the following weekend they were gone.
Oh, that fast? Whoa.
Damn. But Florence has a ridiculously awesome concrete park.
How far of a drive is that from here?
5 hours? It's right below Cincinnati.
Wow. That's pretty close.
Yeah, that park is awesome.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool to do a trip, like, on this side, like, East Coast somewhere.
Yeah. I need to do Philly. I haven't done Philly yet.
Really? You've never been to Philly?
No.
Oh.
And I've never ridden New York City either. Like, I've been there once.
Yeah, I feel like I'm very shocked by this, what I've just learned. I thought that you would have been there, like, a lot of times, but I guess I don't see you posting anything from there.
No. I've never been there to ride. Binghamton was, like, 3 to 4 hours away from New York City.
Yeah, you're pretty far from New York City at that point.
So, it was one of those things that, like, to get down there, then you got to deal with parking, and we just never did it.
Yeah.
The only time I went down, we took a bus down just as a day trip.
I feel like you got to know someone to, like, show you around and things like that.
I think so. And have a place to stay. Which
Yeah.
is fine. Like, I need to just make it happen.
You had a buddy that lived, like, outside the city.
Cam's out in New York now.
Is that where he lives now? Yeah. A buddy that lived in New Rochelle. Well, his parents did, so we, like, crashed there, and then he was like, I mean, I feel like whenever you go to, like, foreign places, it's always great to have, like, a tour guide as far as, like, city trips.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh yeah, we get on the train. Like, took the train into the city. I feel like we rode till like 2 in the morning, and it was crazy. I remember like my buddy's bike, like he just tire exploded. Like before we were getting on the train, it was just like echoed through the buildings. It was like, oh god.
Yeah, the thing with New York, it's having the tour guide, but knowing the schedule of the train.
Yeah.
Is really what the key was for us. Because we went down and Rachel's uncle lived down there. So when he's like, what do you guys want to do? Because if you want to, get from here to there, it's not that far, but you're going to have this many stops. The pickup isn't until this time, so you're going to be like, you're not going to get there till this time. Your ferry overs at this point. He just already knew the schedule.
Yeah.
And that was kind of key in actually getting anything done and getting back to the bus station on time.
Yeah, tour guide for sure. Philly, like some of my friends that I go on, the guys that I go on trips with all the time, they're from Philly, so we've gone down there. They don't really ride street, but we have before. It's like a couple spots. I remember seeing in like videos. Cool.
I don't really care. I don't like the tour guide thing in the sense of taking you to the spots that so and so did this at, or what's his name did something else at, just to like tell you the trick list, or to see. I mean, we do it with like the Jam. We go to MLK. We go to these other kind of spots that everyone knows, the Block. But it's because it's a street jam, and those are the places that allow you to have large groups of people there. But that's like what everyone expects when they go on a trip, and they're like, "Oh yeah, take me to this place." Like, you don't want to like kind of explore on your own pace and see what there is to see.
Yeah, that aspect of it's pretty cool.
So sometimes I like having a tour guide. Other times I usually don't.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to get some like respect for the spots. Like you go there and you like see it in videos and you're like go there to ride and then like, oh whoa, this is like way harder to ride than I expected.
A really good example of that is even the block here in Pittsburgh.
Which spot is that?
It's the like big cube ledge.
I think I know what you're talking about, like on the north side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right near MLK. But the thing no one knows about that spot, watching it in videos, is the ground. Right at the point you're supposed to hop onto that ledge, it's like uneven and it's on a crack. So you either have to hop from further away than you want to hop, or be like real close to it. And it's never been comfortable. Every time I ride that spot, it makes me angry. I'm like, why are you like this?
Yeah, it was definitely cool coming to Pittsburgh, like in high school, like driving down the Ride Street and then just stumbling upon it, be like, oh, this spot was where so and so did this. I remember going to that spot. I remember going to MLK. I like some of the spots I didn't even know were in Pittsburgh. I was like, whoa.
Still feel like that's the case. Like sometimes you come up on something, you're like, wait a minute. We were just at the one the other day, which I knew it was, but I didn't know for a while. The bridge down in McKeesport is the bridge that Brian Yeagle tire rides up at the end of his Anthem 2 part.
Oh. Makes sense.
I think it's wild.
But I think there is... Yeah. I don't know where it's at. And I think it's going down like Route 30 off of Route 30. I think is the one rail and like one of Doyle's video parts where he gets like knocked out bad.
130.
Is it 130? Is that what it's off of? I remember driving past it and being like, I think that's...
Like, I know that spot.
That looks really familiar, and I just moved here, so I don't know why that would be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that spot. He had an interview a while ago, a couple years ago anyway, that was something about, like, if anyone wants that, like, have at it, it's yours.
Yeah. Some wild stuff.
Yeah, for sure. That spot was wild, though. It was big. And Malians is another one that, like, the Sea Ledge School.
Where's the Sea Ledge School?
Oh, maybe you don't know. Do you remember Doyle did, like, a tire ride to whip over a rail into, like, a cobblestone brick-like bank?
Oh, yeah.
So that school, but there's like a 3 stack of sea ledges there. They're really
Is
cool.
it like under something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen clips of people skating there a lot.
Yeah, that's all one school. There's like a ton of stuff there.
Huh.
It's really weird. But it's a cool spot.
Yeah, never been.
I think we should wrap. We've been like almost 2 hours.
Damn. Been talking for a while.
Yeah.
What else? What did we miss? What else?
I mean, I don't know. What else you want to talk about? I would say at least drop your social media stuff for you and for MHS.
Yeah, so I started an account for like all my machining stuff to have a social media presence. So see videos of me making things, making chips fly occasionally, but yeah, that's MHS _manufacturing.
Yeah, you got it quicker than I got it.
I should probably not be so hesitant with that, but I think it's underscore. It might be a space.
Probably not a space.
No, it's MHS _manufacturing. So if you want to see things like that, me making sprockets or whatever,
DM him for sprockets.
Yeah, get a hold of me if you want one or something. I think I posted something. I think I said maybe like $25 or something. Just get a hold of me. We'll work something out. I don't really care. But yeah, there's just standard 15/16 bore, and then I just make spacers as needed. So yeah, I got that going on, and then I'm just Mitchell with 2 L's _ Paul. So that's where I post my real life stuff, which doesn't happen very often, but
occasional bike riding stuff.
Sometimes I take pictures of outside. You know, my picture of like, hey, I'm actually doing something. Here's where I'm at. Pictures. But
once a month, I still have an Instagram account. Pictures.
Yeah. Oh, I did something. I should let the people on the internet know.
I need to be way better about this, but I really suck at doing like proper tie-ins for other people's social media at the end of these. Because I always ask for it, and like, sure, there's the verbal.
Yeah.
But I never post the links. I mean, I tag it in an Instagram post, but on the YouTube video, you can't put a link. Like, you can type the address, but it's not a link, so I don't end up doing it there. And then I don't do it on the like the audio only podcast. And I should be better about it.
Yeah.
But
for me, my sake, I'm not too worried about it. But
yeah, it's kind of like an overall thing.
Yeah.
I just need to do better. And at this point, I should just start doing it and go back and fix all the other ones to have it all, or else it's going to be one of those things that I just don't fix it.
Yeah.
But this should be... I've been not saying what episode they are.
Oh, because you don't know what order you're going to put them out in.
Yeah, theoretically. I mean, there's only been one that's been shifted around. That doesn't mean I couldn't do... Like, I try to keep it in case something comes up and someone's like, hey, I got hot news, we're going to talk about this. Or, like, if I wanted to cut one in real quick to just talk about the jams.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about reorganizing.
Yeah.
15.5.
But anyway, this one's theoretically, I think, 19.
Whoa.
So we're pushing the 20 mark. I might move this one just so that it doesn't make sense.
This is episode 20. Comes out 25.
This is either 18, 20, 17, 19, 21. I don't know. Who knows?
Just gotta say all the numbers and then edit it in at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I always put the intro in now. And I don't know, it was weird because I used to do the intro. Then I would just like, how do we know what we're going to talk about, you know? So it's like, hey, this is Mitch. Cool intro.
He rides bikes. Shocking.
He rides bikes. We jump things together. Sometimes he ice pick stalls and I fail at ice pick stalling. The cool little extension quarter in the small bullet voice.
Oh yeah, that quarter. That's a good quarter.
Maybe I'll relearn it when I put my new frame together and have brakes.
And when you put your 5-inch pegs back on.
I don't need 5-inch pegs to do ice pick stalls.
Yeah.
I just need to be able to do ice picks. The brakes help.
Brakes do help for that, definitely.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, we'll try to do better about the social media thing.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I use it, I guess, occasionally. It's how I keep up with things. All things BMX related.
All right. Well.
But yeah, give a follow, holler.
MHS Manufacturing.
Yes.
DM him for sprockets.
Andy will put a link in this time.
I
He
will
is going
totally
to
put the
be
link.
Better about that.
Link for $25 sprockets.
Yeah. No.
$25-ish dollars.
Yeah. With bartering, it can be much less. Yeah, I'm just trying to get rid of them so I have a reason to make more. That's about it. But be honest.
Yeah, get rid of them so that you can make 70-75s.
Yeah, I mean, I bought some blanks a while ago and I was like all geared up, and then I made some other things. I was kind of like doing some
It cuts
upgrades
better.
to the machine. It does cut so much better. It's way nicer to the machine.
6061 is so gummy.
It is. You really gotta like watch your heat with it. But yeah, so hopefully, I don't know. I'll probably try to make more things. You know, I got like a full coolant setup now, so that makes cutting things a little easier, faster, less nerve-wracking. But
what were you doing before? Like a manual coolant spray?
I didn't have anything for a while, so first of them I was just cutting dry. So I think I had air maybe, and then that doesn't really cool much. It just kind of gets the chips away.
Yeah.
But then I got like one of these mist coolants. Those are pretty nice, but it's not flood coolant. I think what happened is I started helping.
It's not as good as the flood coolant.
Once I started helping my buddy in his shop and like running his machines with full flood coolant and just like go into town, I was like, oh, I need to have this. Kind of like one of those things where you realize and you're like, I don't need this, but it was a heavy want.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, but you do. If you are only making one thing here or there, you don't need it.
Yeah.
But if you're like actually using your machine, you do need it.
Yeah, it makes things so much nicer. It gives a nicer finish too. But...
You don't wear your tool as much, like all around. It's just,
yeah. I haven't made much with it yet, but yeah, I think I'm making like a derailleur holder for some guy on the internet. 2 of them.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm excited to do that and see how that works out. But
when you do something like that, do you get a CAD file from them, or do you have to kind of design it on the fly?
No, he gave me a CAD file, and then I kind of went through and was like, this, like, you always, I don't know. I feel like anytime I look at those things, it's like, this is unmachinable corner. Like, we got to do something about this.
Yeah, like can this be round, or do you need a square corner?
Usually they're okay. I try to like keep it pretty standard with like, because I have certain tools that I have set up already, so I try to keep it pretty standard. But you know, there's a couple things that he wanted, so make it work. So yeah, it gets me a CAD file, and then I program it and go to town or make whatever mods need to be made.
And where are you like finding those? You got a forum for kind of like
there's like some it's like website message boards where people just like post like hobby stuff that they need done.
Cool.
So
do you get into any of the RC car stuff?
I actually saw one to quote for that, and that was like one of those deals where I was like, this guy doesn't know what goes into this. And it had a lot of like,
probably true.
It had like a lot of the internal like cube corners, and like, how do you think that that's happening, you know? But
if someone has like a metal 3D printer additive manufacturing thing, like they could do it.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be cheap.
Yeah, this one was weird. It was like, I forget what the guy, it was something to hold a bearing, and it was 2 parts that mated together. So there was like a bearing race in there, and the guy wanted like, I don't know, he said like $40 for a part, and I was like, for one side, 2 sides, or... And then
are you trying to make these for like you and all your buddies?
Yeah,
maybe then.
Do you have a drawing for this so I could see? Because like a lot of times you'll get like the CAD files that, you know, they're like, oh, just make it off the CAD file. I'm like, is this whole tap? Because it really looks like it's, you know, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh yeah, we'll get you drawings. Then like you get a drawing back and it's a millimeter, so whatever. I don't really care about that. But then it's like plus or minus 0.05 millimeters on everything. I'm like, that's like 1.5 thou. Like, you realize that that's ridiculous. I mean, for like to just say all dimensions are that. So it's like, are you sure you need this?
Yeah, you're like 0.1 millimeters is normal tolerance.
Yeah.
Because then ends up being what, like 0.0039 or something.
I
think it 0.1 millimeter should be 0.0039.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Okay.
So it's 1/4 thou.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I mean
that's
like normal.
A sheet of paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, plus or minus 10 thou is nice, but.
Yeah. I get it. It's needed, but not on every dimension. But...
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that happens, but.
Is what it is. I mean, you don't have to take it, so.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's just something, you know.
It's cool to see it in like the out to bid type thing like that.
Yeah, it gives you a better understanding of like what goes through, like whenever, you know, being on the opposite end of that, like Because I was usually on the like, hey, can you make this happen?
Yeah. Did you ever get involved in tech shop?
No, so so one guy I know used to teach a class down there, and then I think like right when I was getting ready to like pull the trigger, like I was like, I'm either gonna buy this machine or I'm just gonna get a membership to the tech shop and go use it as needed. Obviously, the tech shop much cheaper because you just pay by month. And then I finally I got like a new laptop like for doing all my CAD work and stuff. And then I was like, all right, pulling the trigger on this. And my buddy's like, yeah, they're closing. So
They moved, I think.
did they move?
It's not called tech shop anymore.
There's this place called like Proto Haven.
That's what it is. They moved. It's tech shop. They moved it.
But I don't think they have like all the capabilities that they had.
Yeah, they probably slimmed some of it down to keep it available.
Yeah, I think they had some like milling machines and stuff.
There were some other small maker spaces going on at the same time that tech shop was happening.
Yeah.
Because I know the one lady that worked there, they had like an all girls maker space also going on at the same time, and I don't know what the specifics to that were or how many other similar maker spaces were all happening at the same time, but I feel like if you have a whole bunch of them, it just hurts the one that's like the core.
Yeah, I feel like there's a very small market for that, so you can't just like flood it.
Then
because
again,
no one's gonna
you could
succeed.
talk about that from any industry.
Yeah,
BMX is a good example. All these small companies DIY things. Just
true.
do we hurt the core or do we support the core by bringing more of the crew in? I don't know.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one to
You
answer.
can make an argument either way.
Yeah, I can see it going both ways. If you're just like doing it just to do something, that's like, I feel like that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like doing it to try to like make money, like someone DM me about like, can you do this in like oil slick? And I was like, no, I could never do it in oil slick. I'm sorry, that will never happen.
Even if I could,
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's not an option. I'll pretend like that wasn't asked.
But black is cool. I'll do black all day.
Yeah, I'll do black or raw or like maybe another color at some point, but I'm not.
For $3, I'll hit it with any can of Krylon you want.
Yeah. Wait, yeah, oil slick it. DIY oil slick, but
You could just put oil on it.
you'd be very upset by that.
This isn't what I asked for. It's specifically oiled and slick.
Yeah, I
yeah.
never got into the tech shop, but I was all in. I was ready to. I don't know if it would have been a better decision. Sometimes I feel like having it like in my basement is much easier than having to get in my car, drive 15, 20 minutes. Like, it's not much, but it's like, if I have 2 hours free, it's easy for me to walk in my basement and like fiddle around with it or do whatever.
Yeah, or you drive your 15, 20 minutes down there to realize someone's on the machine you need, and you're just like, sick.
Yeah. So.
And you're like, oh man, I just need 5 more minutes, and it's like an hour and a half later, and you're like, alright man, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll try it.
That's my 5 minute. I need 5 minutes. Hour later. I guess that was a little longer than that.
Yeah, sorry. I had some trouble. And
Yeah.
I haven't seen your machine cutting in like an hour. I know, I just need 5 more minutes, man. We're cool.
That's how it works. But
Yeah, I wanted to sign up for it myself at one point. And just,
yeah.
it was going to be a burden. But I was looking at it through work because we don't have our own machine shop.
Yeah, see, that's the ticket. If you can do it through there, then...
I was going to have them pay for it and be like, alright, all these small little projects, these one-offs, we're going to do.
Yeah.
But,
I'm
yeah,
sure
it
there's
never made
plenty of
sense.
people that went there that really, like... You know, it worked out really well for them. But from what I heard is that one didn't make any money, and a lot of them don't make any money. But there's like a couple of them that kind of rake it in and support the other ones. So
Yeah, I can see that. But I guess you have to have, like... it kind of goes against the whole ethic of them, but you have to be willing to have some people that are there that will take orders.
Mm-hmm.
Like general industry going, hey, I'm not a member, but I need some of these. And then, like, accommodating that because that's going to pay your bills.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's, like, completely against what they're trying to do, so... I don't know. I mean, I feel like you gotta make ends meet, and you gotta make smart decisions. It's not selling out if it keeps your doors open.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets to a point where it's just kind of like, gotta have somewhat of a plan,
But I feel like it also becomes a conflict of interest to be a part of something like that if you're doing it to make money. Like, if we signed up through my job just to use their machines so that we could turn around and sell the stuff and make money off of it, it's like, alright, man, it's time for you to buy your own machine and you're not welcome here anymore.
yeah, maybe. But maybe they're okay with it. Like, hell, someone's
I mean,
using
what
the
do they
machine.
care?
Yeah.
What should they care, I guess, is maybe the better question. If you're paying your dues and you're supporting the organization and you're not stealing from them, you're just using the machine you're paying to use. The capacity to which you use it is really up to you. And maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know what their requirements are, you know? Might be right in the initial agreement that you can't do that.
Yeah, I don't remember what it said in there. I don't even know if I got that far with it. But oh, well.
Me either. But anyway, it's pretty late.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about it, but I do have to go do laundry.
wrapping it up.
Wrapping it up. MHS _manufacturing and Mitchell with 2 L's _ Paul.
Yeah.
Instagram. That's your primary?
Yeah. Yep. That's what I use.
Sweet. Alright, guys.
Later.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, anytime. Come back and talk about whatever.
Come back, give an update.
Let me see if I can go to the right screen this time, because I normally go to the wrong one and then stare at it for a second. Here we go.
Thanks for checking out another episode of the GrindWorks BMX Podcast. I hope you're enjoying these. We really don't get too much feedback on them, just here and there. So I'm always looking for it, though. You know, like the video, comment on the video. If you're watching on YouTube, send us a DM on Instagram or just comment on the Instagram post, something like that. You know, any feedback is good feedback. So let me know what's going on. You know, I really like doing these. I think everyone that's listening is enjoying them. To the best of my knowledge, I don't really know. I'm sure you could probably tell in the intro, and obviously right now, I don't really feel all that well, so I'm going to keep this short. And just let you know, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Definitely subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or your Apple Podcasts or whatever you choose to listen on, Spotify. And then hit us up at GrindWorks _BMX on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and at GrindWorks BMX on Facebook, Mixer. I suck really bad at this. YouTube, and there's one more. I can't think of it. I always fail at this. Yeah, it is what it is, though. Alright, so, wow. Just really got dozed. Next week's episode, assuming I get it out, I'm going to probably try to record the intro right now, although I don't know that I'm going to handle it. Is with Cody Dixon. He an Ohio local, and then he was living out in Nebraska for a little while, so now he's back in Ohio, and we got to hang out and chat. So hopefully you enjoy next week's episode as well. Thanks.